Hi, I'm Carla Higgins, and this is the Double Duty Agent Podcast. I am so glad you're here. Each week, we get together and we explore the stories of successful double duty real estate agents. And from their stories, you can find the solutions to overcoming your challenges and the keys to unlocking your success. Are you ready? Let's get started. Welcome. I am so excited. Today I have Craig Davis with me, and he is with Keller Home Loans. And we are going to talk about partnerships and how we can have vendor partners, loan officer partners that make our life easier as a double duty agent. So, Craig, welcome.
Carla, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here and be on the big screen with you.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, you are one of my favorite, loan officers, the people that make this deals happen, right? We can't do our job without you. And I'm so excited because we had an opportunity to talk last week at the Ohio Valley region, and I know you've got some amazing things that are really going to help the double duty agents.
No, and I love the terminology. I think I might have to adopt that if you'll allow me to steal that. But yeah, we're excited to jump in and see if we can lend a hand here and create some shortcuts for your agents.
Oh, well, not necessarily shortcuts. Let's go full all the way, but just some leverage.
There we go. I'm okay with that.
Shortcuts make me nervous as a coach. Right? So, those shortcuts, they worry me. Well, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about your background, your history?
No, so I've been in lending since let's see, 2003. So going into 21 years. So I've seen uh, multiple market shifts. So we've seen quite the market shift just in the last 4 years. So I've been a part of Keller Williams since 2020. I was part of Keller Mortgage back then. I was top five producer, and Chelsea and I went to Mutual of Omaha, who basically 4 months later called me in and said, "Hey, we are buying Keller Mortgage and going to do a venture with Gary." And it was very serendipitous because I was able to come back to the Keller Williams family, and now we're pairing up. I'm the area manager for the Ohio Valley region, so get to spend more time with great minds like yourself and do fun stuff like this in the region.
I love it. Come back home is what I'm hearing.
Yes, KW is home for me.
Very good, very good. Okay, awesome. All right. Now, with that being the case, I know we have listeners that are at other brokerages other than Keller Williams. You work with agents no matter what brokerage they're at, correct?
That's absolutely correct. We're actually Mutual of Omaha is the mothership. So we have Mutual of Omaha Mortgage and we have a reverse side as well. And then Keller Home Loans is a venture with Gary, and Gary has a percentage of that company as well. So we're not just a partner, we're a family, right?
Yeah, love that. Well, and all those agents that aren't at Keller Williams, they ought to think about why they should be, right?
That's exactly right.
Awesome. Okay. So tell us a little bit about the approach that you take when it comes to partnering with an agent and, maybe even specifically that double duty agent.
Yeah, I think the most important thing that we're doing as Keller Home Loans is we're being built by agents for agents. So from the top down, our growth officer is an OP, Karen Prawl. Our agent relationships VP is also Jen Hasselman, former agent. And our VP of education, Chelsea Vandersnick, is a former agent. So this is a great piece of the pie for us because we're able to connect the dots, not only by what the lending side wants to see, but also what agents' feedback. And we have people that understand and know how to implement this. So we're putting our foot forward not only on programs to help our agents grow wealth through real estate that we never had before. And that would include like bank statements, DSCR, no income documentation. So, and then we also have marketing that we provide for our agents to help them with their day to day as far as like social media. Because if you're juggling both balls here and you only have a limited amount of time, if we can give you your time back to focus on the real estate and not so much the social media, that's a win. And then also we've put together quite an education hub to help agents that can't be in the market center throughout the day for live training to be able to get it digitally at any time.
Oh, I love that. Oh my gosh, Craig, look, we have a special guest that's joined us. Chelsea Vandersnick is in the house. Hello there.
Hello. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Well, Chelsea, Craig has just been telling us some wonderful things about Keller Home Loans and his background. Why don't you tell me a little bit about how you got started in this industry and where you are right now?
Yeah, so my background is a little bit unique in terms of the mortgage industry as a whole, but it actually mirrors a lot of the similar females that we have in leadership here at Keller Home Loans, and that I actually started off in the business as a Keller Williams agent. So I first got licensed as an agent in 2011 down in the Tampa Bay area and joined Keller Williams because there was no other option in my mind. And I was on a very high producing team for many number of years down in Florida. Then I relocated back to the Midwest, which is where I was born and raised in Illinois, and sought off solo as an agent. Now, I did transition to mortgage lending in 2016, but I stayed in my same exact market center. So I already knew everybody, was already familiar. So I figured, why go anywhere else? And then later on, I actually got the opportunity to learn about a company called Keller Mortgage, which was very new to, the marketplace. And I had the opportunity to join them and learn about kind of the leverage in which they were creating for agents to create this irrefutable buyer's proposition of, hey, if you work with me, these are all of the key advantages that you're going to get. And one of the things that I loved about the concept of Keller Mortgage, now Keller Home Loans, is that it really was meant to be built by agents for agents, because mortgage lenders don't always understand what an agent needs. I experienced this firsthand because when I first got out of real estate and into mortgages, and I started learning more about the different loan products and programs and marketing things that were available, I realized there's a massive gap between what the mortgage industry has been holding secret, which shouldn't be a secret. There's certain things that we should be shouted from the rooftops to better educate our agent partners, but there were so few people discussing these things. And so kind of what I set out to do was, hey, if I'm going to rebrand myself as a mortgage lender, I'm going to be the lender that lets all those best kept lending secrets out of the bag. I want to help agents have more effective conversations for lead generation, for overcoming objections, for being able to kind of open their mind to how they can maximize their database and really create additional opportunities outside of just some of those initial conversations that they don't know how to lead into the second or third or fourth conversation. So that kind of brings me to my role in present day. I was doing this forever just as a way that I did my business. But now, in the role of Vice President of Education for Keller Home Loans, it's the best of both worlds because it allows me to take everything that I learned on the real estate side, everything that I've experienced in the mortgage world, and just create education that's really for the sole purpose of making the agent more successful, to help them with personal growth, professional growth, and being able to kind of expand their mindset of what they're used to for how to prospect business, but then how to collaborate that thinking with the mortgage industry to really set out and drive home more conversations and opportunities. And with my experience, I have similar female coworkers, Karen Prawl, who you've probably heard of, and then Jennifer Hasselman, that both of them started off as Keller Williams agents as well. And Karen still is, right? She's an operating principal. She still, buys and sells real estate and works with clients, but she's also our chief of growth and industry. And then Jen Hasselman, her husband's a realtor. She was a realtor. They grew a powerhouse team together. And so she also knows from the Keller Williams side of the business exactly what's needed to feed agents to help them thrive. So her serving as our vice president of agent relationships is really the perfect piece to the puzzle, because now we have the three of us together combined with amazing loan officers like Craig, who really get the model of we need to serve agents in the way in which is beneficial to them, not to the way in which serves us best as loan officers. So that's one thing that I absolutely love about where we're at, which is why I've, never looked to go anywhere else, is just because it is such an incredible business model.
I love that. The true partnership, win-win, right? The number
Yes.
one thing in
Yep.
our Y4C2Ts. I love that. All right. So let's talk a little bit about the biggest challenges that you guys have encountered when you think of working with dual career agents specifically. What are some challenges that you've encountered in the past that maybe your new systems and models and all of the things that we're going to talk about can really help overcome?
I think one of the big things is we spend a lot of time in education, and Chelsea's put together a great platform. And a lot of the times we're doing presentations throughout the week in the market center, and we figured out very quickly that that wasn't hitting everybody we intended. So right away we discussed putting a digital platform together so the agents can actually get online at kwlens.com, go to the agent section, and they would have access to these classes and be able to pull them up at their leisure if it's at night after they put the kids in bed, or getting up early before the kids get up and knocking out a couple classes. Chelsea's done a great job on that build out, and we get a lot of good feedback from the agents that it's a great tool for them.
I love that. So training on demand.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Very good. How about when we're in the middle of a transaction? Is there anything, as far as I know, a lot of times double duty agents, their concern is they don't want to reach out and bother the loan officer when they're off work, and they assume that the loan officer's off work. Is there a solution for that, or something we could talk about that would be helpful to waylay those concerns that our double duty agents might have?
Well, what we talk about with our agents is there's multiple loan officers, agents, and coaches don't have normal business hours unless you work for the bank. So we make sure that our agents know they can reach out anytime. They're very respectful of our time with our family, but we try to be available as much as we possibly can for them as the time allows, and still have a good work-life balance, right?
Yeah, that balance or
Well, and
counterbalance.
yeah, I like that. It is a counterbalance. Another thing too, and this is something that I've always been really purposeful about, is about those proactive communications that a lot of times can calm the nerves or the worries. And one of the things that I'm slowly getting Craig to adapt to, but video communication, and the way in which you leverage it, because I'm a mom of three, right? I've got three kids who are under the age of 10. So for me, sometimes it is kind of like, okay, similar to like a dual careered agent, how do we find that balance or that counterbalance? How in which can I make myself the most effective communicator for my clients, to my agent partners? And this is, I think, a way a lot of dual careered agents will leverage it as well. BombBomb is one of the video communications companies out there that we use, that when an appraisal comes in, we can actually do a screen share with the agent where we're making a video, our, little photos in the top corner, and we're explaining to that agent, hey, this just came in. I wanted to go through, highlight a couple key points in this appraisal if you get any questions from the borrower or, the client. And if there's any repairs, anything's flagged, like we can take them directly to that, section, explain it from there. Same with when the conditional loan approval comes out. Again, same thing. We can make a video going that really quick, saying, hey, if you're going to be sending this over to the listing agent, I wanted to highlight that it says, all income items have been met and signed off on by the underwriter. We're only subject to final title policy for closing. Being able to send those out, I think, is a key piece, because a lot of times the questions that we're getting is when things get lost in translation in text or email, which is so easy to do, because think about how many emails you get on one singular transaction from all the different parties involved. As an agent, you're getting whole home inspection emails. You're getting, emails from the title office. You're getting emails from the loan officer. That if you can kind of set apart the communication that you're delivering and make it as clear and concise, as easy as possible as watching a 45-second video on their cell phone when they get home from work, or maybe after they put their kids into the bed, I think that's where we really win, because we're thinking of ways in which to simplify the process to take the guesswork out of it for those dual career folks that aren't necessarily available during the normal workday to just hop on a Zoom and go over those things.
I love that. I think that's a great tip, even for the agent in working with their clients. I'd never thought of it
100%.
exactly, but
yeah, full home inspection reports, all that good stuff.
And by the way, that makes you a double duty loan or a double duty vice president if you're a mom of 3 children. That's why I named it double duty instead of dual career. Because a lot of our double duty agents, it's not that they have another job, it's that they have something else that's a full-time commitment. So I love that.
Yep.
But yeah, so agents, you could do this. If you have to communicate with your client and you're on your lunch hour, just record a quick video, send it as a text message, and that way they can get your communication with all of the inflections and the things, because I think we all run the risk of reading a text or an email through the lens of however we are feeling in the moment, and maybe it's not the way it was intended to be delivered. So I love that. That's a great tip. I love that. All right, what other tips?
I joke. Well, Craig always sounds like he needs a Snickers when he emails. So I tell him video's the only way to go, because you want to convey the teddy bear. You don't want to convey the grumpy bear. So I told him from now on, the only way I'll accept communication from him is an email.
I'm having a hard time picturing Craig as that angry, I need a Snickers guy.
No, my emails just used to be a little more direct. So, I've softened them up. I put LOL at the end of everyone. Lots of love, right?
Yeah, it's a pleasantries.
That's what I thought that meant when I first got that, when my kids were teenagers and they thought I was a crazy mom, because I was like, why are people sending me lots of love?
No, it's fantastic.
You got to be careful with these things, right?
Exactly.
All right. So I was just wondering if you have any other, Chelsea, that was awesome. So what other amazing tips might you have when you think of specifically working with double duty agents, somebody who has a full-time day commitment and they're really struggling with fitting everything in? Can you guys think of anything else? We've got training and education. We've got video communication, which I absolutely love. Anything else we can add to that mix?
Another one too, and this is actually an educational topic that we teach about, but it's one too that we're already leveraging this in our business on the mortgage side, but leveraging artificial intelligence or just the powerful AI products that are out there to be able to help with that balance. There's so many powerful AI features that can automate chatbot messengers on websites, on social media things. You can do auto postings, you can do auto emails, things like this. There's AI features built into CRM tools, but there's also tons of other platforms that can continually put you at the forefront of your buyer and seller clients, either actively or passively, that can help with that dynamic. And a lot of people are looking at these just as, okay, how do I balance work and home, things like that. But if you're balancing a full-time career, a career in real estate, and home life on top of that, your time is even that much more scarce. So if you can kind of streamline the way in which you're doing your scheduling, your communications, your lead gen, and put that down to a science, leveraging the powerful platforms that we have through AI to assist in a real estate business can really be a big win and a strategic educational piece for those dual careered folks.
Oh, I love that, Chelsea. And that's something that we had a little puppy there. Chelsea, you tell me when you're ready to come back.
I'm good. He just barked at my daughter. But
Okay.
no, that's another thing too. When we talk about AI, the way in which we've used it in the mortgage industry, we have a program called HomeBot, and then we also have a program called List Reports that both of them use client analytics to basically determine when somebody is hot and ready to buy, like within the next 30, 60 to 90 days. So it's a way in which to engage your entire database from your CRM, put them into these platforms, and kind of take the guesswork out of knowing, when should I be diligently following up with these people? When should I be communicating with them once a week versus once a month and just staying with them on the back burner? And I think that's purposeful as well for dual careered individuals, because you need to know who needs most of your time right now. You can't give all that time to everybody because you don't have that time to give. So leveraging these platforms as well to be able to analyze that client data is, I think, really purposeful for these folks as well.
I love that. That gives them the way to, they can even figure out, I only have 20 minutes to make calls today. Who should I call? And some of those AIs will let you know exactly who you should call. I love that. All right. So an agent's hearing this and they're thinking, I need all of these things. How do they get them?
Absolutely.
They
Well,
reach out to me or Craig.
yeah, we're readily available, but Carla, can we give your listeners a prize today?
A prize. Ooh. Well,
gift?
yes. I don't think I'm going to say no to that.
Okay. So we're going to allow anybody that's listening, they can go to listreports.com. They can pair with myself or Chelsea. All they'll have to do is set up their profile, and they'll have access to shareables every day for here on out. It sends 5 articles per day. They're pertinent to the industry, and it's a click and play. So you want a time saver and look like you're in the know on everything that's going on in the industry, this is it. So that's our gift to you for listening to Carla's great podcast. And Chelsea and I would love to, if you like to reach out and learn more about what we can do for you, I'd love to. And kwlens.com is our website. And in the upper right-hand corner is for agents.
I love that. We will put all of that in the show notes so they can go straight to the show notes and get the link and go straight to you guys.
Perfect.
That would be awesome. All right. Well, here's what I love to do. We always end with choices, actions, and mindset. And I know we've talked about some actions that they can take, some choices. What about mindset? Do you guys have any advice on mindset for a double duty agent that you have experienced, what really sets the ones that are successful apart from the ones that struggle?
Craig, you're my little Buddha. I'll let you go first, and then I'll give my mindset advice.
Yeah. Well, I definitely think mindset's everything in this market. It definitely is setting the proper expectation, not only for the agents, but for the buyers, because sometimes we know in certain price points, we might be in the market and looking at a lot of houses together. So we just have to always reiterate. Sometimes I have to reiterate to my agents and sometimes reiterate to the buyers, hey, the right one's going to come along and it's going to work out. And so that's just that positive mindset and not getting stuck in that lack mindset, right? And then we all need the reminder sometimes from each other. And that's what I love about the KW community is we're getting the Kool-Aid and we're all here to remind each other, of what we need to do and keep that mindset and move forward.
I love that. Take a sip.
Exactly.
Exactly. All right, Chelsea, how about you? Mindset tip.
For me, and this is honestly probably in my peak of, being a mom of 3, being an active in all the things and seeing how my life has kind of evolved, taking on extra duties and responsibilities. And it's one, allowing yourself a mindset of grace over grit. Yes, you need grit. You need to be, a excellent juggler to be able to do all these different things, but allowing yourself grace when not everything goes to plan. But then also, and Craig kind of talked about this, surrounding yourself with a like-minded community. If you're going and you're seeking out mentorship and advice from people who don't have a similar business model to you, don't have a similar personal family model to you, that person may be a rock star, but you're setting yourself up for disappointment if you're going to compare your success or lack of success to that person's when you guys aren't on the same path or aren't on the same journey. And so being able to find those who are successful, who their career looks similar to yours, even if it's not in your local market. That's something I love about Keller Williams. You can go out in some of these amazing networking groups and find somebody from Texas or California or Massachusetts or Alaska who's got a similar situation to you that's really successful in what they're doing. And I guarantee you that person's door is going to be open to you. If you want to ask them questions, how do you make it look so easy? What are your secrets? What's the sauce that puts this all together? Somebody is going to make time for you because, you know, that's something that I've learned being with under the Keller Williams umbrella since 2011. This is all one big family atmosphere that if you can't find the person that's really going to be that powerful advocate for you,